Where we at now? Where we at? Woo! Here we go. Get the energy up. Woo! Oh, you guys can hear that. Oh my goodness. Woo! Woo! What's going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh my goodness, we're not even on the right page. Let's jump in. Let's jump on in. Wow, what a day for crypto. Was it not? Some double-digit gainers. Are we out of the water here? Check out the thumbnail. Isn't that a handsome thumbnail? Check out the thumbnail, everybody. Woo! What are we out of the water? Look at this massive green that we have. What a bounce we had for Bitcoin. At the end of the day, we did have a little bit of a sell-off in the stock market. Is that just hinting what's going to come tomorrow? We're going to dive into it, and we're going to check it all out. Shout out to everybody here in the chat. Thanks for sticking with me. We did have a little bit of a technical difficulties before the stream here. We got all that figured out. We got our lights on. We got everything, the flashy lights, everything. We got the handsome man here to share it all with you today. Here we are. Here we are. Let's start every day like we do every single day, and we're going to dive into Bitcoin. Bitcoin, baby. This is what we're looking at here on the daily for Bitcoin. Still underneath that daily 200 SMA. Currently, the bulls unable to get us back above that red line, that do not pass go line that we've talked about here. Once you fall below, you tend to stay below, and we got rejected almost perfectly. We got rejected like BoyceCrypto did at the park when he was in elementary school trying to get a date with a girl in the swings, and she didn't want to get pushed by a handsome young elementary man. She rejected me for that fat lady, that fat little girl who wanted to push her on the swings, who had a lot of power and more upper body strength than BoyceCrypto. We got rejected so hard right here. This was disgusting here. We got rejected once by the 200 MA, twice, and 3 times since we've been underneath it. 3 candle body closures underneath the 200 MA. Not a good sign here in the near term. Now, there is good news. There is good news here for the bulls, baby. For the bulls, I am seeing one of the biggest daily divergences I've seen on Bitcoin in a long time. We have a massive swing down on price action while we are swinging up here on the RSI. That is bullish divergence, everybody, saying that we are likely to crack this high before this low. So a long idea would be to open up a long now with the stop loss beneath this prior wick and try to ride this puppy back. Yes, you could ride this back to almost 100K, 95,000. You could take it to 100K, try to sweep this liquidity of the range. You could take it back to, let's see, a bearish golden pocket retest, something like that, up here to about, you know, that 786, that $102,000 level, baby. We can't get that pump for Bitcoin. The daily divergence says we will, or we are likely to, but we are below that daily 200 MA. I am not currently in any leverage trades right here. All our limit orders are still in place, and we are kind of sitting on the sidelines, chilling, trying to understand what Bitcoin's doing here in the near term. The altcoins getting a massive rally today. That was really nice to see for some of the altcoins. I saw Caspa up 20% on the day. Boom, from 57 to 74. Looked really good for Caspa. Ondo making a recovery. Good to see. Celestia, some of the bigger projects in the game making a bounce. All the meme coins, even Pepe, Dogecoin making a bounce. ENA getting beaten down after it's been pumping while Bitcoin's been struggling, right? People will rotate profits from the coins that have pumped massively, like ENA, and move them into, play on words, right? And move them into coins that are looking strong in the near term. All these coins had massive daily divergences. A lot of these coins had daily divergences, and boom, we're getting that reaction right now. So this is what we're looking at for Bitcoin. It is imperative that the bulls start closing candles above this daily 200 MA with this pending death cross here on the daily. The 21 is coming down, and these will cross. That is a death cross, ladies and gentlemen. Not a good sign, a terribly bearish sign, honestly. That's not what we want to see. Is there more downside for Bitcoin? Yes. Look, there's more resistance above us than there is support directly beneath us, right? This is not looking good. We do have this support resistance flip here at about 92,000 to get over. We do have the bearish 618, 786 from this swing high to swing low that we have to get over in this range. These are going to be key resistances that we need to get over, right, in the near term. Look at this. This is a massive sell wall here on top of the 200 MA, which is resistance, the 21, which also is, you know, in confluent with one of those 618, 786 retracements, all the way coming back. It will serve as resistance on the way up until we get above it. So there is a massive resistance above us. We have this high volume node here. On top of that, we have prior highs. This is a big sell wall, everybody. This whole area is a big sell wall. And though we have optimism off of the bounce today, we have to understand, even since we started this stream, Bitcoin taking a little bit of a dumperoonie, we have to understand that where we are on the macro, and right now we still haven't had any of those major retracements, right? Back to the 618, 786 golden pocket, baby, that we've been talking about here on the channel. We have our swing low to swing high. We have tons of resistance above us on the daily. It's important to zoom out. Yes, it was awesome to see a massive green candle, a bullish engulfing candle, bullish candle, that probably the most bullish close we could have had besides closing above the 200 daily moving average. But right now we're looking at further moves to the downside here to about 72,000, which is where our limit orders are set, all the way down to about 62, 63,000, where we have another limit order set for Bitcoin, baby. This area is the area where I'm looking for a bounce. Yeah, it was nice when we got a reaction off and we have that daily bull dip. Can we bounce from here? Absolutely, everybody, absolutely. Before we go any further, shout out to everybody in the chat. What's going on, everybody? April, myself, what's up? And Sin Nasty Kid, PMG Corey, what's going on, man? What's going on? Super excited that you guys are here. Thank you. Drop your altcoins, drop your questions in the chat. Where are we going? What are we doing? How am I doing? Am I stressed out about the market? Yeah, drop your questions. Drop your questions, everybody. I know everybody's feeling a little bit of heat. I saw Sin Nasty Kid posting on one of those Bitcoin giving me some stress. Yeah, brother, it's giving us all some stress. I feel you. But here we are on the macro looking at this massive resistance above us. It is tough to see unless we get some kind of macro news here. Macro news event that could serve as a catalyst to the upside. There is massive sell pressure up in this zone. And, you know, we have bearish 618, 786s, bearish retest. We have high volume nodes. We have the 200 and the 21 above us. And once you fall below those things, it is very, very difficult to get above one, let alone all of them. And a lot of them are overlapping. So that's what we're looking at here. Major areas of support down here, 72,000 all the way down to 62,000. This is the golden pocket range. This is where I'm looking for a bounce. Right here, as you can see in the VRVP, we are in no man's land, everybody. There has not been a lot of Bitcoin traded here ever. Bitcoin's traded in this price range for less than 7 days of its entire life. We have not been here ever for price, hardly, right? Less than a week of total time. So Bitcoin's still trying to get its footing here. It really doesn't know what it's doing. in the near term, right? It doesn't, because we've never been here before. We have never been here before, minus 7 days of time. So we're in this area of low volume here. The US markets are closed. Asia markets are opening now, right? So that's really good to see. We'll get some volume back in the market, but until these nodes start to stick out, we won't really see where the fair value is for Bitcoin here in the near term. So what we want to see is a flip up above the 200 MA and get that push up to the high volume node and defy this bearish 618786 that we're seeing on Bitcoin, baby, on the daily time frame. Let's look on over at the S&P 500. Look, everybody was super excited today. At the end of the day, I saw on Twitter a lot of hopium, a lot of hype, right? We were getting this massive, bounce. We were getting a bounce at the end of the trading day, as Trump was flirting with the idea of reducing tariffs and everything. But since then, after market closure, right? After the market closed in that final hour of trading, right? That post-market trading, you did get after 1500, after 3 o'clock, right? You did get that, and in the late hours of the market, you did start getting a sell-off again towards the downside. This is horrible for the S&P 500. We talked about this. We talked about this on the channel. Once you start closing candles below the daily 200 MA, you're likely to come down further. And lo and behold, we've fallen about 3%, 2-3% on the S&P 500. Could be just the beginning. As we zoom out, this does not happen often. We are often above this red line. Yes, we did get a V-shaped recovery here in 2023. Yes, we did get some recovery here, but this was a substantial correction back in 2022, a monumental 27% correction for the stock market. That was absolutely massive and crushed a lot of people. And before that, we had the COVID V-shaped recovery to the upside, baby, with all that quantitative easing. This is the result of money printing, everybody. Turn on the money printer and to the upside, to the upside. That's the environment that Bitcoin really does thrive in, and what we need in order to get price action to continue to the upside. A lot of people are de-risking right now, and there are a lot of people that do want out of this asset class. I'm not being bearish, but there's a lot of people that want to be out of this asset class right here, and they don't want to get out here. They want to get out on a bearish 786, 618 retest and be like, all right, I'm done. They still want to get out at the best prices possible, right? So you are likely to be met with some selling pressure up here. This volatility killed people, everybody. It killed people. I got text messages today being like, is this over? What's going on with my crypto? Oh my gosh, we're dumping. Yeah, and I was like, yeah, you have to be able to stomach this volatility in crypto if you do want to reap the benefits. Look at the weekly on Bitcoin. Zooming on out, baby. This, woo, what was that? Woo! Let's dive in. Look at this. There were people that held from the bottom here, 11,000, 5,000, 4,000, where we were 8,000 down here back in 2020, all the way up and all the way back down. Look at this chop, this volatility. These were some massive 80% declines, 80% declines on Bitcoin before its monumental run up to 100K. If you're a diamond hand holder, you know what this is like, baby. You know what this is like. Woo! It's not easy. It's not easy being in crypto. It's not like in stocks. Those stocks have been taking an absolute punishing. Tesla's getting bent over, down 50% on the last month and a half, or 2 months. That is devastating, right? And that's Tesla. That's the worst of them. You have Amazon, Google, all down 20% over the past month, 2 months or so. The stock market's getting beaten down pretty heavily, and you could argue that we are very, very overvalued based on the amount of money that's in the system right now, because we have so much money in the system due to reckless government money printing, baby. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. Okay, let's dive on over into Bitcoin dominance. Let's see how the altcoins are doing. I'll bet this is a massive... Wow, I didn't expect that. Honestly. Altcoins. Still, I thought altcoins would be getting a little bit of a breather here, I thought this would start coming down. It hasn't yet. We still have on the weekly this weekly bearish divergence that we've been talking about coming into the macro golden pocket here. Macro golden pocket that we have zoomed in here. We have a swing up on price action while we are having this swing down in the RSI. We're making a higher low currently, or a lower high. Now currently we are looking to defy that right here. Bitcoin dominance is looking to defy that with a break of the convergence line here. We are a little overbought on the weekly, but this weekly bearish divergence may not play out, everybody. It may not. Bitcoin dominance may just decide to go for a run up to the 786, up here at about 66%. Let's zoom out here so you guys can see this 618, 786 retrace pulled from the swing high to the swing low. Let's zoom on in here. Swing high to swing low here on Bitcoin dominance, and this is where we're sitting. We got the reaction from the 618, which was what led to that mini bull cycle for the altcoins, and now Bitcoin's defying that with weekly bearish divergence. That's an incredibly bullish sign, defying weekly bearish divergence and looking to push to the upside. Look at that 66% level. That's the area that I'm targeting for another reversal for Bitcoin dominance. You would think the bearish divergence still says that you'll break that you'll break this low here before you break this high. And I'm surprised with some of the, you know, look over here on bubbles. I'm surprised here that with some of these bubbles on the daily that, you know, Bitcoin really taking the storm. I guess Bitcoin by average, yeah, Bitcoin's up like 6%, 7% on the day, and you don't have a lot of over 6%. You have a lot of them that met or exceeded XRP, you know, Celestia, Caspa, but everything else is below 6%, 4, 5, 3, 2, nothing, negatives, you know what I mean? Some for ENA, Maker. There's a lot of confusion in the market right here, and Bitcoin dominance is saying, hey, altcoins are still going to struggle against Bitcoin. Because if Bitcoin does decide to take a nuker from here, and we're about to test that 5-minute 200 MA, and you know what happens when we start testing 200 MAs? We lost to 1, we come to the 3, we test the 3, we lost to 3, we come to the 5, we test the 5, we lose to 5, we come to the 7, we lose to the 7, we come to the 15, we lose to the 15, we go to the 30, the 30's above us, and we don't want to drop below all those major moving averages, baby. We don't want to play moving average dominoes, drop below the final ones that are supporting us, which currently are the 5, the 7, and the 15. We lose this 15-minute 200 MA, and throughout the night, ladies and gentlemen, we could see another dumpage. We can. It is probable, right? If we start losing 200 MAs and you have every moving average above you, there is not a lot as far as support wise besides fibs that you could pull that are going to save you from the down, you know, from the downside. So here, you know, you have a couple levels of you'd have a couple levels of support down here. You'd be coming down to the $78,000 level for a 786 retrace. That is possible, right? But you didn't put in a higher high here. If you wanted to change market structure on the micro, you needed to put in a higher high. We did not. We didn't do it, right? You have your, you know, you have your lower low, higher, lower high, lower low. You still haven't created a higher high. So the market structure here on the micro time frames, right, on this 15-minute still have not changed. On the daily, it certainly hasn't changed, right? So we're still searching for that higher low on the daily, getting rejected by the daily 200 MA. That is where we stand right now, ladies and gentlemen. That is where we stand. Hello, Lily. Hello, Wanda. What's going on? April, howdy. I did have my hat out here earlier, right? I hope you guys enjoyed that Texan accent, everybody. We're going to build the biggest Bitcoin reserve that we've ever had in the state of Texas. It's going to be bigger than my belt buckle and all my buddies' belt buckles combined. I'm super excited for the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve that was just approved by the Senate. Texas is going to have the biggest Bitcoin reserve. I don't care. It's the biggest state. It has the biggest things. It has the biggest Bitcoin reserve. It's not the biggest yet, but it's about to be the biggest. I promise you that. Yeah, cheers to the state of Texas, baby. Everybody in the state of Texas. Hello, howdy, as we say here in Texas. I'm a new Texan, everybody. I just moved to Texas right after I got out of the military, and now I'm down here kicking it with all my fellow Texans, riding bulls, wrestling pigs, joining the rodeos, kicking the spurs. I'm playing that spittoon game, that spit game, like the patooey, and the little bean hits the spittoon thing while you're in the saloon. I'm having a good time down here. Next thing I need is a revolver, right? I need a revolver to keep in my pants because everybody down here is strapped. Baby. And then the only 2 guns that I have are right here on my person, baby. So I need to get a firearm, that's for sure. Yeah, and you can open carry it. It looks really, really cool. Some people keep it in their crotch. I would be very hesitant about that because I do not want to blow a hole through my gonads. No, thank you. All right, and definitely a gun with a safety. Not playing that game. Okay, here's where we're at with Bitcoin. Yes, it isn't looking good, right? We haven't failed to create a higher high here. And we're looking to, dump a little further to the downside. Starting to lose some moving averages. It's important to claim the 1 minute back. The 5 minute looks to be holding here for the meantime. We'll see how that plays out throughout the night, but that's what we're looking at for Bitcoin in the near term. Bitcoin dominance ripping to the upside. Let's take a peek at the altcoins, baby. The altcoins, total three. How are we looking? Wow. Okay, on the day. Woo! On the day, we did have the daily candle just closed, right? This is the last daily candle close we had here, closed about 3 hours ago. And, from the bottom, you did have about $56 billion injected back into the altcoin market. Came down here to about 700 billion. Now you're stepping at 766. Regardless, despite the numbers, we're still below the daily 200 MA. This is the line in the sand, everybody. I'm bearish right now. I have to be. Below the daily 200 MA, I have to be bearish. When we were supporting here, bullish. I was bullish all the way up to the point we broke this, closed the candle below, bearish. I have to be bearish below the daily 200 MA. And I could ride that bearish sentiment all the way down to the depths, right? If we do decide to crash or whatever, Yeah, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but if we do decide to continue our downtrend, this death cross is likely to happen here on the daily time frame, baby, and we can nuke to the downside very, very, very quickly. That's not what I want to see. That's not what I want to see. That is the difference between a bull and a bear market. You entered a bear cycle here, in my opinion, right? We consolidated for a period of about 6 months. That was nasty before the election, and before that, you know, you start dropping below the 200 MA. This is a perfect example. I was looking at this, you know, let me pull Bitcoin back up. I was looking at this on the daily, right? Like, when have we been in a situation like this before? Does this not remind anybody of back here, the last prior cycle? Look at this here. We've had a monumental downturn, right? A downturn in price action after having a massive run up, right? This looked very similar, that 108, the $110,000 level, and then we started crashing. We had a capitulation wick on February 3rd. This was back in 2021. This kind of mirrors price action exactly, right? We did come back up after that capitulation wick, got some sideways price action, and ended up dumping. We closed below the daily 200 MA. And now, look at these candles. Does this not look exactly like what we're looking at right now? We had that pump, dump, right, on the tariff news, and now we're, you know, serving the 200 MA is serving as resistance. That death cross came and boom, baby. That death cross came and boom, to the downside. That is what I'm looking at for Bitcoin here. Just kind of a cool little fractal, like, hey, where's the situation like this happened before? And I was looking at this, I was like, wow, this is pretty spot on. This is kind of crazy that this has happened before. And look at these red candles, everybody. The red candles that followed that death cross were monumental. 10% for Bitcoin. You had another massive 3-day 20% drop for Bitcoin. That can happen. That can happen, right? And then we came back up, and the daily 200 MA, it's resistance until it's not. Resistance, daily 200 MA, and we rejected and fell into the bear market. Into the bear market. That's what started the bear market. That cross of the daily 200 MA to the downside, retest, and then boom, into the bear market, into the crypto abyss, falling from 48,000 all the way down to 15,000, a 67% down draw for Bitcoin here. That's what we were looking at. And now pulling this back up, does this not look very, very similar? We had, you know, wick below, we came back above, we had some news, and now we're chopping beneath this. This is not an area we want to be, ladies and gentlemen. We want to get a pump-a-rooney back above this daily 200 MA. It is critical. It is critical. The longer we stay below this 200 MA, the longer the worse it gets, honestly. We need to get back above here. It's imperative. I would like to see today's candle at least close above in order to feel like the bulls have some hope here. Otherwise, we're likely to come down and test these key retracement areas on the Fibonacci. I did release a video on this. Check that out, guys, if you guys are interested, on where I think the Bitcoin bottom is going to be. But here we are, the 618 sitting at about 72,000 and the 786 between 62,000. This area represents the most likely area to me, based off of where we have bounced before, everybody, where we got that juicy bounce before, back to the upside. Look here. This is what we were looking at the other day on the video. I'll give you guys a little sneak peekaroo. All right, here we go. Here we go. Look at this. From the swing low to the swing high, we came down into the golden pocket area on this wick, and we retraced and led to that massive run up to $100,000, right? This was on the daily, and this happened over months. Everybody was freaking out. Months. Shoulder, head, right shoulder, dumped to the downside. Whales had their orders in where? In the golden pocket, where they always do, right? In the golden pocket, they scooped that up. It came back up. Everybody got super optimistic, and then we made, you know, we made a shoulder, head, right shoulder to the upside and started that massive rally. So here we go. That's what we're looking at here. Could something similar be unfolding for Bitcoin? Does this top, to me, this top here looks pretty close to this top here. That's just my opinion. Like right here where we dropped below the daily 200 MA, we came up, we started testing. Maybe we get that run up above. You know, I'm just speculating there, but this does look very similar to the consolidation we had down here before we had that massive drop. And we started playing with the daily 200 MA. We do not want to start closing candles below this, ladies and gentlemen. It is a key area for Bitcoin to remain above. We need to get a candle body close. And so far, even since we started the stream, Bitcoin has been struggling below this 1 minute 200 MA and looks to be maybe even possibly flagging out here for a move further to the downside. So that's not what we want to see, you know, on the 1 minute trading, very, very risky. 1 minute trading, very, very risky, but you can speculate on some kind of flag like this headed to the downside from the flagpole. You know, maybe this plays out, maybe it doesn't. You know, I have to see. Where are my indicators? Where am I? There we go. Yeah, the 1 minute stochastics are cooked, likely to kind of fall out of this here. You got to, they're rounding. Not what I'm liking. Not what I'm liking. So that's what I'm seeing here for Bitcoin. We'll see how that plays out. Total 3, you know, looking very, very similar to Bitcoin in the, woo, 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 woo. All right, yeah, total 3 looking very, very similar to Bitcoin here, baby. Underneath the 200 MA, it's imperative to start closing candles above. Actually, today's candle looking a little better than Bitcoin's candle as we speak. Where's my coffee, dang it? I'd already drank my Monster. It was really good. Depending on the way I drink my Monster, everybody, it depends. It depends. Either I drink it by mouth, I do that in front of you guys on stream, or I got this special coffee enema that I load my Monster into, flip upside down in the bathroom, and I take my Monster that way. And I'm telling you guys, it'll change your life. It'll change your life. If you guys want to, I can provide you links to the coffee enema that I use. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to you guys. I recommend being in the shower when that's done. Wow. Shout out to you, Nasty Kid. I know you be using that thing, man. I know you be using that thing. All right, here we go. Into the upcoming week. What do we got tomorrow? So look, regardless of price action, where we are right now is pivotal. Tomorrow is pivotal. Tomorrow's pivotal. This was good for the economy. We had more job openings. That was good. 7.7 compared to 7.6 million. That was good. You know, we were forecasting more, and we got an additional 100,000 jobs. Big good, big good. Okay, here we go. That sitting aside, we have Wednesday and Thursday coming up, right? Weird, tomorrow. And we have the CPI, the measure of inflation of all goods besides food and energy, right? That is projected at 0.3% inflation. I don't know about this number, everybody. I mean, yeah, this is saying that the Fed is doing their job and it's working. But I don't know if you guys have seen prices lately on a lot of goods and services, especially in technology. I think this is going to be a number that ticks up a little higher. You know, and that could be okay. It's going to be good for the economy. Or it's going to be bad for the economy, but good for crypto. Why? Because we need Fed Chair Jerome Powell to have an emergency Fed reading and start cutting rates. I hate to say it, but this whole stock market, this whole crypto industry is dependent on quantitative easing. We are so inflated. Blunt truth. We are so, look at the charts, zoom out. We are so inflated right now on the S&P, on gold, on everything. We have so much money in the system that unless there's more money, and, you know, and things get further inflated, we're not going to see higher prices. Highly unlikely when the Fed is trying to fight inflation like it is, right? We have initial jobless claims and PPI, the perspective of the seller, right? Selling inflation from the perspective of the seller, increasing the cost of what it costs companies to make a product, coming in at 0.3%. The projected, so we'll see. We'll see what that comes in on Thursday. Likely to be around where CPI comes in. This will be a market mover. Mark it on your calendar. Set an alarm for 8:29 in the morning. 8:29 a.m. I know some of you guys are still sleeping. I will be awake, baby. And we will be watching this for market open. This is going to be a massive market driver. More so than the jobs. This will be the market driver of the week. Tomorrow morning at what in the world? I didn't even look at shoes. Yeah, sorry. I mean, what in the world? What in the world? Do you guys hear that voice? Good night. All right, yeah. So CPI, that is going to be the market driver of the week, everybody. Super important that we are keeping this, keeping our eye on this. PPI likely to come in very, very similar to the same core PPI. And then Fridays are just a big nothing burger. Next week, we do have a lot of other things that are coming in. A lot of home buildings, you know, retail sales. That's going to be a lot of information news. And here we go, baby. Here we go. Here's the big man coming out on the 19th of March, baby, coming out swinging. Our good old friend Jerome. Jerome coming out and looking to, oh man, we need him to turn on that money printer, baby. We don't even need him to turn on the money printer now. We just need him to hint the verbiage. We need some verbiage to come from Jerome Powell to say, hey, yeah, maybe we're going to end up cutting rates a little sooner. And this information right here tomorrow is going to give the market a great insight as to whether Jerome Powell will be, we could speculate Jerome Powell. This is all about forecasts, right? We get bad news tomorrow, and we could speculate that Jerome Powell might end up turning on the money printer a little early, and that's what's going to pump markets. That's where we're looking at here. That's what's going to pump the more speculative assets because we know more money is going to be coming into the space, or we're speculating, right? You got to be thinking 2 steps ahead when it comes to this. So how is this event right here going to impact what Jerome Powell says next week on Wednesday? A lot of these, you know, with home building and stuff like that, the tariffs and things that are swinging into action may not be reflected in these projections here based off the tariffs, since they started so recently, but you know, these housing, retail sales, things like that are going to also impact Jerome Powell's decision. This is the start, everybody. CPI, keep that on your map for tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Welcome to everybody who jumped on into the chat. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to you guys. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys spending your Tuesday night with me. Let's give a shout out. April, Sid Nasty Kid, what's going on? Auction, let's go. We'll check out Bounce Coin. Absolutely one of the hottest performers in the game. Let's dive into auction. We got our altcoins ready to roll. Altcoin Rumble, baby. Let's dive on into the altcoins. Let's see what we're looking at for the altcoins. Bounce token, absolutely Stooge. What's going on? No chart wise, it looks similar to 2022. Yeah, hard to compare situations in the news tweets. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough because anytime. That's why leverage is so risky right now, and why I'm kind of sitting on the sidelines when it comes to leverage trades. Because I know a single tweet, something I'm waiting for things to die down, because I know a single tweet in either direction is going to cause a massive move, and they've just been happening every other day, and I just don't like playing that game. All right, let's see. I want to see do an Australian accent. Is Australian and Texan not pretty similar when it comes to accent? I could try. I'll try to wrangle a kangaroo down there. What am I trying to do? Steve Irwin. God rest Steve Irwin, baby. Steve Irwin, one of the legends. Let's pull a bounce token. I'm trying to wrestle that alligator down there just so I could feed my family. I want to get some alligator tail. I'm going to get some alligator tail. Crocky. Oh, Crocky. Look at bounce token on the way. Wow, look at bounce token on a meteoric rise, breaking past that 1 hour 200 MA. We started playing 200 MA dominoes, and the dominoes fell all the way to the end. You broke through almost every one, didn't you? 3, 4, daily. Look at that run. You had the golden cross on the daily. I'm not gonna lie. Yesterday I was speculating. I said, hey, we're likely to consolidate. How often do you see this? How often do you see this? Very rarely are you gonna see a pump like that massive in 5 days. Look at at least you see some kind of consolidation. You get a little pump, you consolidate, pump, consolidate, some kind of pullback, something. But wow, Bounce defying all odds, does not care about what Bitcoin's doing, baby. Bounce does not care. And honestly, yesterday, what was that daily candle? Oh my gosh, look at that green dildo right there. 44% to the upside. God candle for auction, baby, for auction. That is a massive run to the upside. You've had 7 currently, as it stands, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the 7th green candle in a row for Bounce. Looking good. So whenever you're playing 200 MA dominoes, you have no choice. You have no choice but to pull on in these smaller time frames and flag it out. You're going to flag it out until it doesn't work, right? What was the last time we saw something like this? On, what was it? XL and XCN. XCN did a move like this. XCN just started breaking 200 MAs, and when it broke all of them, you could say, hey, we just kept flagging to the upside, flag to the upside. With every flag is going to be increased risk, but regardless, there's still flags here. There's still flags, ladies and gentlemen, right? You did get a little bit of bearish divergence already played out here. Let's zoom on in and look at that here. Let's zoom on in and look at that, right? How bearish divergence can signal that, hey, we're in for a little bit of a cool off. We did get some bearish div right here. We did get a swing down or a swing across. It's slight. You did get a swing across in price action. Well, you had a more, a steeper swing down here in the RSI, right? Saying that you're going to break this low before you break this high. And you did. You did, right? You broke that low before you broke this high. We already broke that low. New set of reset stochastics coming up here into this range. That's looking good. That's looking good. You know, you got a flag here on the 15-minute. It's looking good. It's looking good. This could be your next move for Bounce token. High risk, everybody. It's gonna be high risk due to look how extended you are. You already pumped 124%. You have to understand that from the bottom. You already pumped 140% in what, 6 days? Wow. Yeah, congratulations to everybody in Bounce token. What a meteoric rise to the upside. I don't know if there's news or anything on this thing, but this puppy looks to cook, and it does have legs. It can go further. It can go further. Let's look on the higher frame time frames. Yeah, you're not forming bearish divergence on the 4 hour or anything. I mean, you could pull it out to the daily and say, hey, yeah, this is bearish divergence. It's not even, look at that. You're above. Just notice how this RSI is above where you were back here. That negates all bearish divergence. That is incredibly strong when you defy bearish divergence like this from this peak, because you would have had bearish divergence had you started to roll over here, right? Creating that higher high while you're creating a lower high on the RSI. And you didn't get it. You didn't get it. That was a massive move for bounce. Looks to continue to me on the 15-minute time frame here out of this out of this flaggeroonie to the upside, baby. Looks really good for me for bounce. Stochastics aren't looking bad. 15 minutes a little cooked, but it doesn't look like bounce seems to care. Looking to, yeah, that flag looks really good to pump to the upside. That would be these flags with the flagpoles at the way they're extrapolated, the targets are pretty massive. That's another 25% move for bounce token, baby. Looking really good. Trade idea. I'm not gonna be taking this, right? I'm sitting on my hands when it comes to leverage here. I understand where the market is, and I understand when the markets are favorable, and right now I don't see them as favorable. But a nice 3-to-1 trade for bounce token here, looking to move to the upside. Man, I got a trader's itch, baby. I got a trader's itch. I really want to scratch it, but you know, hey, look, here we are for bounce token. Bitcoin showing some weakness here. You know, hey, getting back up into the getting back into that flag. I kind of, you know, oh man, I haven't traded in a couple days. Really, I'm looking to. You guys make me want to do it. You guys make me want to do it. I have to. Let's see if we got it here on Blowfin. Blowfin, baby. Let's go. We got auction. There it is. 42%. We'll do a little scalperoonie. We'll have a little fun tonight. I got that trader itch, baby. I got the trader itch. You guys know when you're like, I got to trade. I got to scratch it. Where's crypto? I got to scratch it. All right. Let's see. We got to stop 24.8. Target 33.6. 24.8. Let's pull it up here. 24.8. And we'll go 33.6. We go 3-to-1. We'll do it on 5x, sure. And we'll take a little 49 for 150. That sounds good to me. We're in there. We'll take this flag to the upside, baby. We'll give it a shot. Shout out to Bounce Token. Thank you for dropping that in here. You scratched my trader itch, baby. That 3-to-1 trade. Let's see if we can get this pumping to the upside. Pump, bounce, pump, auction. That's a new name for it. But yeah, we'll leave this here. We'll leave it cook. We'll see how it's gonna go throughout the night. I had to scratch that trader itch. You guys gotta understand. It's like a coke addict that's like, you gotta get some of that cocaine. Not that I know anything about that. Absolutely nothing. The only thing I can relate to that is my coffee and my Monster. If I don't have one of these things, I actually suffer. I suffer so badly, right? I'll roll out of bed, can't even use my legs, right? I got the fridge right next to the bed. I gotta reach out, I gotta open up the Monster, I gotta get a sip before my legs even work during the day. Oh my gosh, we're getting a little bit of a dumperoonie. Come on, Bounce, come on, get up there, baby, get up there. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at for Bounce here. Wow, as soon as we enter, what? We caught the local high, but this is looking fine. We'll see how Bounce does. Looking very strong here in the near term. I want to see the stochastics curve back over, and we'll see how this plays out over the course of the night. But that's what I'm looking at for a Bounce token here. Looking really good out of this flag to the upside. We'll drag our stop once we get that initial movement past this high right here. We'll drag our stop to break even, and we'll see where it goes. But that's what we're looking at for a Bounce token. Bitcoin, come on, baby, come on. Dumping out of this flag. This is why it's so sketch to trade right now, right? Like it's tough. It's been such a tough market. Every time you get like a little bullish signal or something, it just seems like they want to dump it in your face. It's not a very good trading environment. I'm gonna preface that to you guys. This is not a good trading environment. It's been a tough environment to make money in this space lately. I'm just being real with you guys. Look at these 4-hour candles, baby. These have just been absolute chop wick suey. Look at these. Right, just we've been chopping all over the place, and it's been news-driven events that have been driving this market. News-driven events that have driven us back up to this 90. This was in a single day. The strategic reserve announcement, tariffs, right? You got, a little bit of bullish news on tariffs, like coming back up. We were like, oh, we might not do it as bad. It's fine, but that ended up being a 786. That was beautifully charted, right? I think that was a 786. Yeah, coming up to the 786, getting that rejection to the downside. And now with the S&P falling, we've just rolled over the past couple days, coming down all the way to a low of about 76,000. Not what we're looking at when it comes to the S&P. Not looking good. That's not what I want to see for the S&P. I don't want to see that for Bitcoin. And Bitcoin, our bounce levels on the macro are still sitting down here. We're still below the daily 200 MA. We need a push here. High risk scalp on bounce, already underwater. We got to get this to turn around, baby. And I think I think it will. I think it has a high chance of breaking out to the upside. If this does not break out to the upside, you can expect a very, very strong correction once we start breaking these 200 MAs for bounce, given that we've already ran 140%. Yes, I don't know what bounce is. Where's bounce on the ranking? Let's see. Auction, 214. We'll pull it up here on the daily. Likely one of the hot ones. The biggest bubble here on the 200 to 300 here on Crypto Bubbles. Shout out to Crypto Bubbles. Makes it super easy to see all these coins here on the macro, right? On the daily auction, one of the biggest winners. Now, if we do see a pullback, oftentimes when we see a pullback in Bitcoin or anything else of that nature, or we get a massive run in the altcoins, these bigger boobles will turn into the biggest boobles on the red side because people will start taking profits. I don't blame anybody for taking profits on a 140% move in a week. What? That is a massive move for the auction token, just going on a monumental tear in a month. This was trading at $8 a month ago, and now we're targeting 33 in 30 days. Wow, what a move for bounce. Hey, thanks for bringing that to our attention, Sin Nasty Kiddo. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Stooge, I appreciate you dropping your opinions in the chat, man. You're an absolute legend. I like that. That stimulates discussion. Heck yeah, that's fire. That's fire. In Australia, 1:30 p.m. Hey, shout out to you, mate. Was I right? Did I hit it? Did I hit? Yeah. Yeah, I'm super late night here, man. We're at 9:30 p.m. We're at 9:30 my time, 9:30 my time in Central, in the great state of Texas now. Yeah, current enough in the market to keep me up all night. Yeah, I trade the Asian markets, man. So whenever Asian market opens, I kind of get on and I kind of do some perusing. But I haven't been trading a lot these last few days. You can't blame me, right? I'm sitting on the sidelines trying to understand where Bitcoin's gonna go on the macro. I have to do that. It's part of my risk strategy. What's going on, everybody? Just Crispy, what's going on? Hey, Josiah, what's up, man? What's up? Unreal Dragons, thank you for jumping on in. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm not really good at the Australian accent, but I got the Texas one down in here right now. I'm just integrated in the culture. I'm just integrated in the culture. Even the roommates like down here, you know what I mean? Hey, how are you doing? They're ladies, so I can't do it. Let me see if I can do a lady one. Hey, how you doing, y'all? Everybody, Southern hospitality. I really appreciate you. I'm gonna start, you know, I really, really love it being down here in the great state of Texas. Do you need me to get you some pumpkin pie, baby? Some pumpkin pie? That's just they don't do that at all. They don't do that at all. If they found out that I was talking like that, they would, oh my gosh, they would beat me with a sack of doorknobs, right? That is not what I'm looking at. Ignore that. If you're watching, ignore that, roommates. Ignore that. Hopefully they didn't hear me. They're sleeping. Shh. Okay, that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin here. I don't want to see this rollover on the 1 minute. I want to see this little pumperoonie. I want to see bounce getting back in the action, baby. How do we catch the top there? It looked really, really good from a flag perspective. Still looks good. We're above the 21 on the 15 or on the 5. We're going to let that cook. So back over to the hourly, right? On the 100 or the 0 to 100, all the top 100 cryptos, mainly the ones we go over here on this channel. In the last hour, taking a little bit of a beatdown with Bitcoin slip from 83 down to 82,000. Very, very, very standard, right? Whenever Bitcoin slumps, everything else in the market's going to slump, and it's going to slump hard. With Bitcoin dominance the way it is, Bitcoin slips 0.2%, you're going to see your altcoins flatten out at like 2-3% in the negative. And look at this here. We have, you know, single percent, double percent drops to the downside just in the last hour. Okay, diving on into the chat, everybody. Diving on into the chat. Movement, yeah, absolutely. Reviews, we'll dive over that. Movement, absolutely. One of the hottest coins in the game, in my opinion. Why? Well, it just got a lot of attention and a lot of pumpage from the Donald Trump World Liberty accumulation, right? So they ended up buying Movement. We're gonna zoom out here. I have no idea what were we looking at here. Oh, we were looking at the macro here. We did get that breakout to the upside, and we've been trending sideways ever since. So let's dive on in here. Let's clear up some of our old work on the daily. This is something that, you know, we've been falling to the downside pretty hard. On a lot of these altcoins. A lot of these altcoins look like this, man, and it is what it is. This daily divergence did end up playing out this swing down on price action while we had a swing up on the daily RSI. That looked really, really good to me, and we did get that reaction. We broke this high. Did we even do it? No, we didn't. You can say that daily divergence didn't play out, right? Because that wick did not get above where we were before. So that daily divergence from back here is still in play, you know, with stochastics stochastics still hovering here. And you could dive down deeper here and make a double daily bullish divergence. That would also be an indicator of us getting further to the upside, but you have to reset your target levels and everything. And that would represent a great entry for Movement. But here we are on Movement. Let's dive in on the smaller time frames to see what we're looking at. Probably looks a lot like Bitcoin. Definitely looks a lot like Bitcoin, right? You're above your 1 hour. You're above your 1 hour. You're above your 1 hour. Let's see where the MA and the moving averages lie. We drop below the 1. We drop below the 3. We drop below the 5. We drop below the 7. We drop below No, we didn't. We didn't drop below the 15, baby. The 15 still holding you up here. So right now, you are pinned in between the 15 and the 7-minute time frame here. Yes, I know it's a small range, but these moving averages are getting very tight. As you can see, they're not very far away from each other. That tells me that a move is coming. A move is coming. These lines, these red lines don't go straight forever, right? And when all the time frames start lining up, that tells me that there is likely a move coming. Look, you're right on the 30. You're the 1 hour sitting beneath you. Yeah, so the smaller time frames are saying, hey, we're getting really, really close to a massive move. Makes sense after ranging here for move. Move has been ranging in this, yeah, for the past 24 hours. On the small time frames, yes, you're definitely looking for a decisive move here, one way or the other, for move to get out of this range and start a move, play on words, baby, move to one side or the other. Look at that high volume. Let's zoom on out here. Look at this high volume node here. You're sitting in the area where the most move has been traded. You're beneath the highest volume node, but you're still in a massive cluster. A lot of people wanting to sell and buy move here in this range. One of the two are going to win out. The bulls or the bears, baby. And you just got to kind of pick your side here. That's where we stand. You know, you could say that you're in a, this is tight. This is tight, man. This is very tight. Yeah, let's clean some of this up here. Let's see if we can get some consolidation. Going some consolidation. Yeah, you're looking at this line serving as your support. You got a pretty clear resistance line. I mean, you can even argue here that this is smaller, a smaller triangle here, but this is what you're looking at for move. This is what I'm seeing anyway. This is for what I'm seeing. Not financial advice, man. Just what I'm seeing on the charts. Yeah, you're teetering on that lower resistance line. You want to close this candle above the 15-minute 200 MA. Closes in about 11 minutes. That's going to be very key for you. You start losing the 15-minute 200 MA, and you're below this high volume node. That does not spell good. You can even see this as a complex shoulder, head, right shoulder, shoulder, head. You know, right shoulder, you know, and you're making shoulder, you know, there's only so many times you can test a support line, right? It's like the police with the battering ram. They come knocking on your door, baby, and they start smacking on that battering ram, and they're trying to get in at BoyceCrypto when BoyceCrypto is super highly leveraged, and he needs to be looking at his computer when he's trading on 125, or never mind, we're trading on 400x leverage, baby. We're trading on 400x leverage, and the exchanges are saying this should be illegal. We shouldn't be making this much money. We need to call the police right now and get him away from his computer screen so we can use the whales to liquidate him. And you know what they do? They send the cops. They send the boys in blue with their giant battering ram to take down my door. They hit it once. They hit it, boom. They hit it once. The door cracks. They hit it twice. The window smashes. They hit it 3 times. I have to brace the door with something. I have to throw my fridge in front of there. They hit it 4 times. I have to throw my lady in front of there. I have to use my lady to cushion the door. You know, and then boom. There we go. We hit it again, and now they're cracking through. My lady fell on top of me, and I'm you know, I can do a little booty squeeze maybe, and then you know the fridge gives, boom, on the next hit, and then the next hit, boom, the police come and break in. They jump on top of me and they put their knee on my neck like George Floyd. And now not a good scenario. Not a good scenario. You don't want to be hitting on these support levels over and over and over again. That tells me that we are likely to get a drop to the downside. The more times you test a support, the more likely it is to be broken, right? They serve as support until they don't. But how many times have you guys seen, go back through the charts and see, well, how many times has a support landed 20 times? It doesn't happen. It'll eventually give, right? As you run into those buy walls, they diminish over time. That's what support levels are. These levels, all they are buy walls. And once they start getting eaten into, when that buy wall is no longer there, you will dump to the downside. So that's just what we're looking at. Same thing up here. You have sellers up here using this resistance line. You know, sellers all in this range. Sellers in this range right here. And that's what you're looking at. You got buy walls and sell walls, and right now you're cracking on a buy wall that's been tested, you know, once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. This is the 7th time you're cracking on this buy wall, man. You're below a high volume node. I'd just be cautious for move here on the small time frames. And if Bitcoin struggles to hold up, like our bounce token struggling to hold up, if Bitcoin struggles to hold up here, hey, like that could definitely spew some weakness here for movement and the overall market, and we can start getting a drop to the downside. That's what I'm seeing here for move, man. That's what I'm seeing for move. Pump and dump, baby, pump and dump. Yeah. Hey, that's movement on. That's I did not make a video on MetaDrip. I did not do that, Sin Nasty Kid. No, brother, no. But I'll look into it. I definitely was gonna do a little more research on the project. Haven't gotten into that yet. Movement. I wouldn't say, hey, man, I'll never tell you what you're doing with what to do with your money. I will say this. I did just get some house funds, and we did invest a little bit today. We bought a little more Bitcoin. We bought a little smidge of Injective and a little smidge of what else do we buy today? we bought some SEI down below 20 cents. So that's what we were looking at. We bought a little bit of each of those. Bitcoin, we did make a massive purchase on Bitcoin. Bought about $2,000 in Bitcoin today, right? Just because we're at great prices, everybody. We got the fear and greed. We're in the fear. This historically has been a great accumulation zone. Could we drop further? Yeah, I got dry powder on the side, and I'll be looking to take advantage of that. But in the event that we do turn around, I want to know that, hey, I got in on these juicy prices, because I'm going to look back at this when Bitcoin's at 100, 200, 300, 500, $1 million, and we're going to be like, hey, when did you get in? And I'm going to be like, I bought some, you know, at 80, 83, you know, that was a good range. At 80, 83, you know, and the guy next to me is going, oh, I got in at, you know, I got in at 73. I got in at 76. That's the same level, everybody. That's the same level when you're talking about a 10x, 20x potential for Bitcoin in the long run, right? And I think go even further. I think Bitcoin can 100x from here in the next 20 years. I really think it can. Hedging the retirement on it, baby. Hedging the retirement on it. But that's where I think Bitcoin's going. I think they're going to print money to infinity. I think they're going to just keep, continually print money. And I think being in Bitcoin, if this season hasn't taught anybody everything, it's that Bitcoin's the superior coin. It is. Will it always make the best gains? No, but you could talk about that. Like every altcoin, there are a lot of altcoins that have great fundamentals that are trading at 80% off their all-time high, and Bitcoin's only 20% off. That amount of risk, the amount of risk in the asset is bouncing, yes, to the downside. Come on, bounce up there, baby. But what was that? Good night, uvula. But yeah, so I mean, it's taught me a lot. It's taught me a lot. I've learned a lot this season, and that's my goal is to accumulate more Bitcoin, baby. My goal is to accumulate more Bitcoin. I have to accumulate more of the greatest, what I view as the greatest asset class in the world. And every other altcoin, I can't be sure that they're going to be here, but I'm sure that Bitcoin's going to, right? And whatever altcoin, no matter the fundamentals or everything, things that have like $1 billion invested, sure, they're fun to invest in the short term, and they may do numbers. They may even outperform Bitcoin. But if you look back at 2017, you know what you could do on your CoinMarketCap? CoinMarketCap, baby, this was a giant lesson for me. Going over to CoinMarketCap, do you guys remember the top 10 coins back in 2021 and 2017? You know, I really didn't. I was like, what was the hottest things? What this top 10 look like in 2017? It's very different. It's very different. Where are the filters, baby? Filters! I don't remember how we did this. But you could go back in time. Where is the time here? Filters, columns, filters, last 7 days. No. I want to go back in time. Baby. How do I go back in time? I'll have to look at this later. But yeah, this, you could go back in time here. I just saw it on, let's see, price change. Nope. Yeah, I'll have to look here. I'm going to look. I'll look and I'll see, but you can definitely go back in time. This list was so different, everybody, back in 2017. It just was. This is frustrating me. How do we go back in time? How to go back in time on CoinMarketCap? Baby. Stick with me, guys. Stick with me. But this list was completely different. Access historical data, visit coins data page, which features a graph, from 2 dates. Historical data on CoinMarketCap, visit coins data page. Whoop! I'll look at this later. But yeah, this I really want to see this here. But yeah, hey, look, I'll pull that up for you guys tomorrow. But my point being is the top 10 list was completely different. Anybody remember Sunfire token back in 2017, the number 5 crypto? What else is up there? We had some massive changes. Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV. You don't see those up here anymore, everybody. So the altcoins that were the highest ranked in the game, aren't even in this top 10, aren't even close. Don't even have billions invested in them anymore. Isn't it crazy to see Solana at 62 billion, right? Don't even have billions invested in them anymore. They have, just singular billions. Coming down here, you can see Bitcoin Cash. Where is this thing? Bitcoin Cash, 6 billion. It was a, it's crazy to think that the market cap got shrunk that badly from Bitcoin Cash. It is wild. It is wild. Okay, here we go. Back over onto the hour. Altcoin's getting kind of beat down. Bitcoin's struggling here. Bitcoin definitely is struggling here on the daily. That scalp doesn't look like it's going to work out for the bounce token, baby. Scalp doesn't look like it's going to, look at that. We're getting absolutely decimated. We're going to leave it open and see what happens. Risk management, everybody, is super key when it comes to trading. Yeah, like, hey, you can lose 2 of these and you'll still be profitable when you hit one. But man, that is an absolute beatdown for bounce. But yeah, that's the risk of trading right now. This is not a healthy trading environment. It's not. I had to scratch my itch. You guys understand what it's like. You gotta scratch the itch. You're in the casino and you have that, you know, you have your $10 bill at the casino, or your 100 or 1,000 or your $1 million bill at the casino, and you know you're just walking through the casino and your lady says, "No gambling today, everybody. We're not gonna gamble right now," right? But you have to scratch that itch. So you tell her, "Hey, I'm gonna go and use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back, my love. I'll be right back." You know, you check us in and everything, and then instead of going to the restroom, you dart across the casino floor and you sit at the first blackjack table you can. And you say, "Hey, sir, here's this $100 bill. Just give me 1 chip. I want to place it on black or red. I want to double my money really quick, and then I want to go to the bathroom and I want to come back to my lady." You got to throw some water on your hands now, so you know she knows you go. And I know what you guys do. I know what you guys do. Different kind of spring dream pants today. You go into the bathroom, you wash your hands, you guys just turn on the sink. You guys don't even use soap. You turn on the sink. You know, you just kind of let it there, but you have to wet your hands right now, and you dry it off on your pants. You come back with some water on your pants, baby. Woo! You are safe. You are safe, man. You are safe. This is all hypothetical. My lady, I've never done this before, ever. Right? Just so you know, in case you are watching, much love and appreciation. Say nasty kid, that wasn't for you, brother. Okay, we're diving on into the chat. Shout out to everybody who's just joining us. TMB Willow, what's going on? Hey, how you guys doing? Abstentitious. Wow, I struggled in spelling class in 5th grade, man. I'm sorry. Pump and dump, baby. Yeah, it could be Barachain from reviews. Let's dive into Barachain. I did see this as a big booble the other day. Barachain. Bara, B-E-R-A. Barachain in the top 100, squeaking its way there. Getting in there in the top 100. Let's dive into the Barachain, baby. I would love to look at it. Bara, B-E-R-A. Barachain. Don't know anything about the project. It is definitely, yeah, it looks like it got released at the end of last month. Here are perpetuals anyway. Does this have more price history? Yeah, this just got released a month ago. We were speculating. Here we have it pulled up. We had this whole shoulder, head, right shoulder that did end up dumping to the downside. You know, and we haven't really been able to get back above that neckline. That's okay. We'll clear this up. Let's get a fresh look at it. Fresh look. We have to look at a smaller time frame than the daily. The daily is such limited price action here. Less than 30 candles. It's very, very difficult, especially, you know, you got your stochastics and everything, but this doesn't have a lot of data to go off of, so the stochastics may be a little skewed. So let's zoom in on the 1 hour. That's what I like to look at here on these newer coins that have been out for a couple days. That looks a lot better, a lot more price history, action, data, and it looks really, really good to me. Okay, here we go. On the 1 hour, kind of mirroring Bitcoin right here. Mirroring Bitcoin, getting a little bit of a slump here. It is what it is. On the 5 minute, we're starting to play 200 MA dominoes, everybody, to the downside. This is just a warning going into the night. Before you lay your head on that pillow, except for the person who's in Australia, shout out to you, the 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard, or Australian Standard Time, baby. Yeah, we're dropping below that 1 minute 200 SMA. Then we're going to come test the 3. We broke through the 3. We broke through the 1. You know, we're through the 5. We're through the 7. We're through the 15. This does not look good. I'm just saying for Barachain here, we did not create a higher high here on the smaller time frames. You created a lower high, a lower low, lower high, and you could speculate. You would have to speculate if you're looking for a long here. You're going to get a little bit of a pumperoonie on this cup and handle, likely in this 786 zone, getting a little bit of a bounce. For people who are trying to catch that cup and handle to the downside, you can be forming also this shoulder, this head, and the right shoulder that could get you out of here. That would match up very, very nicely with a 618 bounce or a 786 bounce. You just can't drop below this neckline or the head here. That is very true. This shoulder, head, right shoulder does have a measured move target. Look at that. It looks pretty good here for shoulder, head, right shoulder. But you got to be speculating on a bounce here. And if Bitcoin struggles, this shoulder, head, right shoulder will fall through. And not play out. Highly likely, unless Bitcoin starts trading sideways. But this does look good to me. You are below a high volume node. But what's good about this is since the dumpage, look at this gap in the VRVP. If this shoulder, head, right shoulder, if you did get a bounce here off of the cup and handle, it does look really, really good for a move to the upside here. You get that bounce off the 618. You could get that moonshot to the upside out of the cup and handle for Barachain. It looks really good here. yeah, it looks really, really good here. That does represent a move. If you did get a move out of the cup and handle of about 23% for a bear chain, it looks likely it could definitely happen, especially with this gap in the VRVP. There is nothing here. You roll that ball off the hill, you're likely to come up to the next trough, and the next big trough is up here at about 650. But Bitcoin's got to get its footing here. Bitcoin's got to get its footing. You know, Bitcoin's a really volatile asset. It really is. But have you guys seen it this volatile like in the past? This volatility has been crazy, and the only time you really see volatility like this is when you're changing macro market structure, and the market's saying that we may be changing that. Look at this, just in the past hour, altcoins down 2 to 3%, right, in a hole when Bitcoin's down, what, 1%? Yeah, bear chain, that's what I'm looking at for bear chain, man. You're speculating on the cup and handle. You know, you are creating this, you know, this falling channel here, but I would definitely speculate on the, I would definitely speculate on the cup and handle if you are bullish and you want to take a shot. I think that's your highest likelihood of getting that bounce into the shoulder, head right shoulder. But if it doesn't bounce there, you're looking at you're looking for lower prices. You are. Everybody got very, very hyped up and excited today when we got the bounce. Look at the fear and greed coming out of the extreme fear. We're at 34, almost in the yellow. That is unexpected. That is super unexpected, right? Coming up that far from extreme fear after this dumpage, and we're sitting at 83K now, getting back up. This could flip very, very, very quickly, and at this rate, we'd be at 90,000 and be up in greed, extreme greed again. That's not what we want to see. We want to see this hover down here in the fear while Bitcoin catches its footing and then get that monumental move to the upside with disbelief. We want disbelief in people, right? We want disbelief. That way we could capitalize on that liquidity to the upside, right? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Hey, what's going on, TMB Willow? I appreciate you being here, man. Thanks for jumping on in the chat. Unreal Designs, go check out Cubic. We'll run the future crazy transaction scalability. Hey man, I'll check out the chart. Yeah, let's do it. Is it on? It might be on Dex Screener. I'm not sure. Let's see. Cubic, baby. Cubic on Gate.io. Cubic getting absolutely beaten down. It is what it is. This is the rest of this is altcoins though. This is altcoins in a nutshell. Okay, here we go. Cubic. You have a massive, dang, this thing since May of 24. You had a massive run up here. Prior to the election, yeah, just like everything else, or after the election, November 8th, you started that pump. You went on a monumental move to the upside. Look how fast these altcoins can move, everybody. It's almost unbelievable. A monumental move of 273% to the upside in the span of about 3 months. Wow. And you've been in this downward channel for the past since December, since the end of November, December. This is what you're looking at. You're looking at this downward channel right here for Cubic. It does look like this is, I don't know, you've been in this level for a long time, but you got to start playing 200 MA dominoes, right? If you don't start playing 200 MA dominoes, hey, look here. We were dumping. You started breaking the 1, we broke the 1, and eventually we started creeping up, right? We came to the 1, we test the 3, we test the 3, we go to the 5, we broke the 5, we never looked back. No, coming back down to test the 5. You want to see this 5-minute 200 MA hold as you come up and test what? Oh, the 15's already broken. So where's your next 200 MA? You got above the 30. That's a good sign. You got 21 coming up with price action. Despite this red candle, it's looking okay to me. But, you know, you got that shoulder, head right shoulder vibe that a lot of the altcoins are giving off right now. It's likely we come and test a 1 hour 200 SMA. Maybe that happens on a wick or something like that if Bitcoin does get a little bit of a bounce or Rooney here. But that's what I'm seeing here on the micro time frames for Cubic, baby. Despite fundamentals, everybody, it doesn't matter what kind of fundamentals your coin has. If Bitcoin dips, it's going to struggle. Your coin will struggle. Look at this just in the past hour. Bitcoin losing, a little less than 0.5%. You have the hottest altcoins, Aave, Algo, everything dipping over 1%, 2%, 3% in some cases. These altcoins are on a cliff, everybody. If Bitcoin does not hug up movement, losing that 200 MA on the 15-minute time frame, if Bitcoin does not hold up here, look at this trade, almost about to get stopped out. That's a disaster. Oh my gosh, a disaster. Risk management, everybody. Risk management, everybody. I had to scratch the itch. You cannot blame me. You cannot blame me. But yeah, we're going to leave that trade open. It is what it is. But this is what we're looking at, right? For all the altcoins, they're starting to lose some key levels here. And in the middle of the night, it could be a little bit of a dumbaroonie. We got to look at the macro, right? We got to look at the macro. We got to zoom out and understand that Bitcoin is still getting rejected. That's what I'm seeing for Cubic. We got to look at what Bitcoin's doing on the macro time frame, and currently we cannot get above that daily 200 SMA. Look at that. We rejected from it perfectly yesterday and today so far. The day before, yesterday and today so far, we rejected here at the daily 200 MA. Below the daily 200 MA, I'm a bear, baby. And the last area, the last line in the sand to me is that $62,000 level. To me, if we break $62,000, and I go over that in that video, if we break this 786, and we come down and test this low, oh my God, this That would be a break in market structure. And to me, in my mind, that's it. That's it. That'd be the bull market, everybody. You create, you know, we've been creating higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, you know, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. You know, we got to speculate on this higher low coming in here. If we did get something like this and we got a massive drop to the downside and some consolidation, that's your first lower low. And even if we pump back up here, we'd have to speculate about a lower high coming in here. It's very unlikely that we create a lower low and then go to create a higher high. It does not happen very often in price action, everyone. So that's what I'm looking at here for Bitcoin on the macro. We need this 618 or 786 to hold here. It is critical for Bitcoin. It's critical. It's critical. It's critical. I'll say that again. It's critical. It's critical. It's critical. It's critical. The reactor is critical. That's what they used to say. But yeah, look at this. Pushing to the downside. The VRVP, we have lots of buy orders in here. The most amount of Bitcoin is traded hands up here at 97 and down here in the 60s to 70s, right? This range has formed over the course of 6 months, positive price history, right? And support verified in this zone. When we get to get this breakout, the bulls won over the bears. That means there's likely still buy orders down here that are going to catch price and revert it to the upside. This is likely where a lot of those bigger whales have their buy orders in. As we went over earlier in the stream, this is exactly what happened last time. From this swing low here up to the swing high, we did get that reversal from where that wick into the 618786 area before going on that monumental moonshot. Zoom out, everybody, zoom out. This is what we're speculating on in this channel, on this golden pocket to hold. If this golden pocket doesn't hold, to me, that's the end of the bull. I don't want to be bearish, but that's the end of the bull market. And what we'll be doing in bears on the bear side, we'll be looking for that lower high, that lower low will be created. That lower low will be created from the bear side, and then we're going to start doing something like this. Right, and we're going to start creeping to the upside, and we'll be looking for the juiciest short of the bear market, right, from swing high to swing low. We'll be looking at a short coming in up here, likely coming up to this high volume node, getting rejected again for that first lower high in the market cycle, the bear market to the downside, baby. That's what I'll be looking at for Bitcoin on a macro short. That's what would need to happen in order for me to short this asset. But so far, in the meantime, right? Oh! In the meantime, we are still holding that, we are still above that 618, 786 to the bullish side. I'm just saying the bearish scenario so we know where we're going in the event that we get there. But man, this is not looking good for us underneath the daily 200 MA. Okay, diving on into the chat, Sin Nasty Kid, drip. Yeah, let's go over drip, man. Bitcoin dominance still pumping. It's a pump, it's pumping, yes. Yeah, we'll go over virtuals, absolutely reviews. Hey, I appreciate you guys dropping some suggestions in the chat. You guys really do pump the show. You guys really do help the show move along. Okay, here we go. Diving on in, drip. We drip on over the deck screener. The place of the newbies. The place